Come on, where are my people at? Let's go. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Welcome everyone. I hope you had a good weekend. Happy Monday. We are going to be getting into the conversation of the battle of Mindshare that is happening between Soylana, Ethereum, XRP, and maybe just a couple other coins, but really those are the three main cryptocurrencies on the radar right now for institutions, for maybe even a little bit of retail. We got the barbers and the Uber drivers and the bartenders super bullish on XRP. No surprise there. So we'll see if the XRP army can be just delusional enough to get XRP to $10 by getting retail to buy up a bunch of XRP. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about how Ethereum is finally gaining the institutional trust, and they are flowing in. We're going to show you the data that shows that Ethereum could be breaking all-time highs any day now. And we're going to get into Soylana and how Soylana, even though the soy to BTC ratio, and it's funny, we're going to talk about why we're talking about soy is because we're going to get into what the Chinese government has been and the agriculture of soybeans has been pretty low in China. So then now we're going to be potentially selling soybeans to China. It's just crazy right now, guys. I don't know what's happening in our reality. The fact that America could be literally selling rice and soybeans to Asian countries. What is happening? And you're bearish on the American dream here. You're bearish on America. You're bearish on USA being the top cryptocurrency digital asset power of the world, and we're selling soybeans to China. Let's go, baby. Let's go. So Soylana, even though the BTC ratio is kind of jacked up a little bit, we might have potentially seen a bottom. So we're going to get into some of these altcoin ratios. We're going to get into some of the altcoin ratios, break it down. We're going to break all these charts down. We're going to show you how Ethereum and why Ethereum's even doing what it's doing right now, even though the entire time people have been telling you, sell your ETH, bridge out, it's over. Ethereum's never going to break all-time highs. You're being fooled. No. Now, I'm telling you that those people don't know what they're talking about. And anyone who was an ETH bear for the past couple months or years or however long, just because they couldn't handle the price action, I want you to unfollow them right now. I want you to actually first message a all caps message to these ETH bears and all the people that convinced you that you need to not pay attention to ETH, and I want you to unfollow them immediately. And I want you to somehow follow me 4 more times. I don't know if you can do it, but yeah. While all these people were getting you to transfer into some other BS, Ethereum is getting institutional adoption, like we've said. It's been getting the inflows, and we're in ETH season. We're in an ETH season. We've been calling for altcoin season, but the altcoins are going to be really pumping more towards the end of the year and next year. Next year, my friends. Q1 and Q2 of next year is where the magic, I think, is going to be really happening. I think that's going to be the craziest time, because I think that's when everything that has been coming down the pipe with institutional adoption, the rate cuts, the regulatory clarity being put into place, these IPOs for all these companies. For instance, there's an IPO that's happening right now with on Robinhood with a company called Bullish that's been backed by BlackRock. There's other companies that are already established on the stock market that are buying up crypto, setting it up for their treasuries, whether it be Bitcoin, ETH, or Solana, and some of them being XRP. So this is why we're talking about these main coins, because we now have to make a choice. We have to figure out, okay, what is actually the best performing asset right now? And we need to be in that and know that when the money starts to flow out of that bucket, which it went from Bitcoin, Bitcoin's bucket filled up. Now that water's starting to fill into Ethereum's bucket. Now Ethereum is starting to freaking pump. And that water, that liquidity is going to start flowing down into the other assets. It's a trickle effect. And so this is what we're getting prepared for. And so if you're thinking about selling right now, I want you to watch this live stream and freaking pay attention. I want you to pay attention, okay? Because yes, there's been gains to be had. There's been opportunities all across the board. But if you really want to make life-changing gains, this is not the time to be thinking about selling and getting out of the market and listening to people saying, oh, it's the top, it's the top. These people have no idea what liquidity means and what this big money is going into. Okay? There's no other place for them to go. There's even the real estate markets are even realizing that the real estate is such a third-party counterparty risk, and you have to pay out so much, which ends up taking away completely any type of profit that you would have made from real estate when you break down the numbers. And these people that are $1 million retail real estate investors aren't even now starting to pivot and say, damn, I could have just gone into damn S&P 500, gone into the stock market instead of going into real estate. And some of these people are starting to pivot. And we're seeing it happen in real time, my friends. We're seeing it happen in real time, and I'm excited for it. You have to be bullish. You have to know that the money, in terms of holding cash, treasuries, and the bonds and all that stuff, even now holding gold, is not good enough. It's not good enough to beat debasement and inflation, okay? It's not good enough to beat the debasement of the dollar while the dollar is going down, and the governments and politicians and treasury companies and all these big companies are signaling like, hey, we don't hold the dollar. We're going into the digital asset realm. And if they are going to be holding dollars, guess what it's going to be? Stable coins that are going to be generating yield. They're going to be holding the ETFs. They're not even going to be, some of these are not even buying the on-chain asset because they could just buy the ETF, and then now they'll be able to stake it, earn yield. And this, my friends, is where the magic is going to happen. This is where we have network effects on a lot of different networks, not just these main ones that we're talking about, but the network effect of crypto is going to blast everyone's faces off, okay? So let's get into it today. Smash up that like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell to be notified, because we go live Monday through Friday and we don't skip a beat. We are here every single day, whether it's boring, whether it's exciting. We're bringing you the news, we're bringing you the trades, and we're bringing you as much alpha and knowledge and information and education as we possibly can. And if you can stick with this live stream and stick all the way through and not have the attention span of a goldfish, then you, my friends, will succeed, because we are going to be showing you live how we can dominate this market. And I hope you're here for the ride. So let's do this thing. All right. So make sure you're following me at Dano Crypto 904 on x.com. Thank you for all the people that have been tuning in on X. The algorithm has been pumping really nice on X. So I really appreciate it. Thanks to all the Sprotos. Thanks to all the people that have been supporting this channel. And so today's topic of discussion is just Ethereum getting very close to breaking all-time highs. We're going to show you some of the data. First, we're going to show you the far side investors ETF table, and we're going to show you that basically we really only last week had one sell day from BlackRock. So when we're using BlackRock as the example because they're the ones that flow in the most, but mainly we only had like 1 or 2 sell days for the ETF outflows. So now, knowing that we had for 1, 2, 3, 4 days out of the week last week that we had inflows coming in like this, I really wonder what's going to happen with the inflows for this week, and if it's going to just continue to flow like this, because this was a signal of us flowing in, and we really didn't consolidate that much over the weekend, and now we are currently sitting at these bullish levels. And real quick, let's pull it up. Let's pull up the chart, because we are seeing that that volatility right now, and it's honestly, I'm really liking it. Like, even though we just, we consolidated down, you can see that we hit some sell pressure up here. You can see a little bit of a, from these 2 candles to that, you can kind of see we had a bit of a bearish divergence in terms of the RSI. You can see kind of where it peaked out here, and then we couldn't sustain the run, and we consolidated back down to 4,100. But the fact that we've been holding strong above 4K now means that we are in the money zone, my friends, because if we go historically into ETH, you go to the weekly chart here is going to be very key to look at, because you can see where that 4K resistance has kind of destroyed us. And every time we've got in this area, we've consolidated back down, especially since this area of 2021. And then the main points that we want to look at the resistance here is these resistance points since 2024. Because we tried to test up in this level 3 different times and we got rejected. The first time going into last year was at 4. I think it wicked up to like 4K, and then it went down right back into 2,800. I mean, it basically just could not sustain. Then we had this interesting little God candle that happened on the weekly, where then it just pushed back up. It tried to test, and then that was when we went down into another consolidation level, which was very similar to the last, where we found some support. This support, though, if you look, is the same support we just bounced off of, where we had, the ETH BTC ratio finally started to flip bullish, because we were consolidating and bleeding into ETH for the past 2 years, or bleeding into Bitcoin for the past 2 years. And so now that ratio flipped, and we started to see that the dominance of Bitcoin was starting to trend down a little bit, and then ETH switch up. Now this is why we were able to now hold in a different type of market structure above 4K, completely different, I think, than what we saw here in the beginning of the year, or in the beginning and first quarter last year. So first quarter last year, 2024, is a completely different story for ETH. We have a completely different, and I love that kind of analogy. I can't remember who said it this way, but the story is so much better for Ethereum now. The level of FUD that the timeline had on ETH was unmerited. There was no reason, only besides price. The price action and the price and it bleeding into Bitcoin was the only reason why people were getting so bearish on Ethereum, and it's dead technology. But all that during this time, they are building more institutional trust and adoption when it comes to the developers, the support, the reliability of the chain. And when you think about this, that's what big money is going to flow into in terms of the liquidity. And so they're not trying to trench Ethereum for just a couple months and then leave it and throw it into the ditch. and then throw it back into the trench. No, they want this thing to have network effect just like Bitcoin did. And I think that is how we end up getting to these Fibonacci extension levels and the overall market trend for Ethereum hitting base case 10K. Base case 10K. When people were saying 10K ETH, they thought you were insane. But now I'm thinking like 10K is the base case for Ethereum. If you look at this chart and you see how we were able to go, look at this, okay? You're telling me that from the from here, 5,000% move to the upside from 2020 going into the bull market, and we have not seen that same run up like this, but we've seen it in two different cycles. In 2017, we saw it in the bull run in 2021 and out of 2020, out of COVID, the biggest crazy reality break that we've ever had in shift coming out of COVID, and we still did that. And you're telling me that we can't break all-time highs and go to 10K with all of this bullishness in crypto. This is what I don't understand. When people they're so bearish and they just don't understand that we're still following 4-year cycle, but this time it might just be a little bit different in the terms of the liquidity coming in. Because us just getting to a $14,000 Ethereum, that's just 1,000%. That means from the bottom here, pushing 1,000%, that's still not even close to what we did in the bottom of this bull market. We did a 4,300% move to the upside from the bottom. So get your head out of your ass and start thinking about Ethereum becoming the same type of network effect and growing pains as Bitcoin had. This is where you are going to succeed. And then what this is going to do is actually give us the altcoin season that we've all been talking about. It's not really here just yet. I kind of do agree with Benjamin Cohen saying it's not altcoin season, it's ETH season. But if you're smart, you'll know that when ETH pumps, there's a basket of coins that pump hard with it. And that is when we get into the actual, the meme coins, we get into the DEXs, we get into the protocols, we get into the things that are heavily involved with Ethereum, but it's all of the different native stuff that is benefiting off of the bullishness of Ethereum. And so, like I said in the beginning of the live stream, we get those buckets of water and the liquidity flowing into this stuff, and we just need to be there. It's not about trading. It's not about timing the market, timing the tops, timing the bottoms. You just need to know that if you look at other points of the market, this is just, I don't agree that this is the time to be worried and thinking about selling. It's just like, we're still in accumulation lows for a lot of these altcoins and are not even near the bull market highs of 2021. And we're still not even near the Trump pump highs going into December of 2024 and January of this year. We're not even close. So it's lock-in season is what it is, where you need to start paying attention and start thinking about what you are going to be accumulating for your backs to go into next year, Because you have to have some patience, because there's going to be all this stuff, all these distractions. For instance, perfect example is the Ibiza final boss. That meme is, those memes like that are only just to quick gamble, cash out, cash in, cash out, see if you can make a little bit of money. It's not about, that's not investing in holding. That's not, you are gambling at that point. And then you see the timeline, it runs it, everyone makes the meme, everyone joins in, and then that's it. It's over. You only got about a couple days, and that's it. That's not investing. Do you think that these institutions are thinking like the Ibiza final boss type mentality? No, they're not. So why are you? Because you only are going to be, you got a 5-10% chance that you would make money on a quick meme like that. But when you can take some of the freaking guesswork out of it and just be boring as hell and look at what did really well in 2021 and what even just got some momentum during our little pre-altcoin runs, it's just, it could be easy as that. I mean, look, even just Pingu, for instance. I mean, you could have bought the bottom of Pingu here while it was being spread all over the damn timeline. It's up 817%. It's just the timeline will make you think that it's oh yeah, it's easy. Yeah, just get in the trench with us and you'll make money just like my little screenshot and my little group of traders. And that's some BS. It's some BS. It's, you know, that if you know reality, you know that you're being constantly, like, you're being tricked. It's not real. It's not real, my friends. It's not real. It's just like how a lot of things that are put in front of our perception, our eyes, mainstream media, more than half of it is not true, and it's all lies, and you have to figure out where the truth is. And a lot of the times it's when you are silent, when you are not getting all distracted by all of this stuff, you start finding the truth out of all the noise. Okay? You start figuring out the truth. Because out of all of this, there is an underlying truth in where the money is flowing right now. Doesn't mean you can't test it out. Go try the trench. If you make a little bit of money, great. But don't expect it to just be like a get-rich-quick type of thing, because those things don't last. And so what you have to do is know that that is just a way to get your money. It's a scam. And there are real assets that you could be buying that has real network effect that you could be confident holding long-term. That's what real wealth and how real wealth is created. Because I guarantee you that most of the people that are getting those quick wins will lose it just as fast, and they'll spend it on a stupid car or something like that, and they'll blow it, and they have nothing to show for it besides trying to look freaking cool. And so that's what we're not going to do on this damn channel. We're going to guide you through the entire process of these cycles and how you could actually feel confident going into the next couple of years. And you're not going to go, damn it, I got convinced that I should just be a full trencher and start, getting into these quick flash memes that people are making you think that it's easy. It's like, by the time you see it and you start seeing everyone make the memes, you're probably almost too late. And you got a couple different chances, and that means you're going to have to look at your screen. You're going to have to, maybe you set up some bots. Okay, yeah, cool. You can set up some bots. You can do all that stuff. That's fine. You can do that. I get it, because I know there's going to be people that are going to say, you're stupid. You could just set up bots and sell it at a 2x, 3x. But do you get what I just said? If everyone had bots set up to sell at a 2, 3x, do you understand that the meme won't fucking last? It's gone. That means all the bots sniped it out, everyone's out 2, 3x, and it's a cheated coin. That's what that is. Literally 70% of the memes that are pushed on you are 100% botted to do that. But the coins in the communities that they hold through the pump. They don't even sell. Like for instance, like the Ticker Bitcoin community. Some of these people that are holding Ticker Bitcoin, or even, I wouldn't even say Ticker Bitcoin, I'll just say strong ETH memes. They don't even sell when it pumps a little bit. We're stupid. But it's smart though at the same time. And then what's so hilarious is that people will complain about the gas fees and all that stuff when Ethereum starts to go, gas fees start getting up a little bit higher. It might be like $5, $10, you know. But that actually makes it less of a GD coin. That was always the problem with Solana, is that the fact that you could sell these things so fast and just get rid of it, it doesn't have as much holding power, because at the end of the day, when you're buying these coins, if more people are buying the coin than selling the coin, then that means the coin will sustain a chart and actually go up. If people are selling more of the coin than people are actually buying and holding it, then coin go down and looks like crap, and the chart looks like crap. So I want to help you guys to not get convinced that that's like that. You need to give full confidence in the quick flash meme. I'm going to call it the flash meme. It's just a flash meme. But when you look at stuff like Floki, Mogcoin, SPX 6900, Pepe, Ticker Bitcoin, Wojak, Bobo, these are all flagship old school legacy memes that have holders, not snipers, not 2x, 3x bot cheaters, but holders, delusional holders. And that's where I think we actually will win the most, is just DCAing and holding these things. Not going, oh, my buddy sent me this coin. Okay, cool, get out at a 2, 3x. You make a little bit, that's great. You know, I'm not saying that is all bad, because look, if you're successful and you can do this, then you have more liquidity to be able to then DCA into the stuff that has more lasting power. Because guess what, guys? That's what the people who launch the coins that are doing that stuff, that's what they're doing. They're using those coins as exit liquidity to be able to buy them, to hold the stuff that they're not even telling you, because they don't like you very much. They just want your money, or try to sell to some course or private group. And then out of all the gains that they just made off of you, they're going to buy Bitcoin, which is hilarious. AKA Thread Guy. Thread Guy just was promoting rug pull scam after rug pull scam on his platform, and then disappears when stuff got too hot and people were accusing him of being connected with the vape cabal and all the insider tokens and allocations, and not knowing really if truly he was actually got an early allocation, and then acted like he didn't, disappears from the timeline, then comes back to be a Bitcoin maxi. Where do you get all the cash to get to buy the Bitcoin now? Hilarious. Freaking hilarious. Now, I know YouTube is basically trash when it comes to crypto content. Algorithm, it's kind of terrible. So what you guys have to do is you have to share this live stream. You have to share it. You have to share it with your meemaw, your papa, your uncle, your unk, your auntie. I don't care who you have to share this to, but you have to share it to, and then you got to get them to hit that like button. And we got the Sprotos in the house. We got a bunch of Sprotos watching right now on X. So I want to give a big shout out to all of the Sprotos, the Ticker Bitcoin community. I think they have the best attitude out of all of the crypto people. The NFT people, they show up. They're very, very creative, very artistic, and autistic all at the same time. And they're just encouraging, and they like to have fun. And it's cool to be a part of something like this. And I think that's where people will win, is to be a part of something like this. And it doesn't have to be obviously like Ticker Bitcoin. You could be feeling like this with a particular community, and I hope you win too. I hope your holders and your community is just delusional enough to hold through the madness, hold through the pain, and then you have more buyers than sellers. Because it's like, if you feel passionate about something and you have a goal and a mission, I want you to complete it too. I'm explaining my thesis and how I'm operating in this market, and how I've been fooled, how I've been bamboozled, and how now I'm starting to lock in and understand my instincts and intuition. And that is your ultimate edge, is your instincts, intuition. And what the market will do is convince you you're wrong. No, you need to look over here. And the whole time you did have some type of plan. You had this instinct, and then guess what? The strong pull of the FOMO, the missing out, seeing someone else's screenshot, this stuff happened over here, and it looks like you were in the wrong place, and now you need to move. And guess what? The people that move too many damn times are the people that usually lose. And they go, damn it, I really was on to something, and all I had to do was have more patience and wait and use the strategy that I've been explaining, through this live stream. And you probably would have made a lot more money. All right, let's get into some more altcoin analysis. And what you guys can do is you can give me a couple of coins. Where's the chat? My chat doc just got taken off. Okay. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you're feeling good. I know you're looking good, but it's a little quiet today. I get it. I know it's Monday. I get it. But see, this is what we do. This is our job. This is what we do. We show up every day. We yell into the camera to get you guys to be more bullish. And I want to do this together. You guys are just as part of the live stream as anything. You are a direct part of the live stream, are the people watching, the community. And I want to talk directly to you. This isn't a one-man show. You guys are supposed to keep me on my toes. It's a collective effort, okay? All right? This is what we have to do. Maybe we've had a lot of coffee this morning and no food, but I don't care. All right. So first off, I want to see what you guys want to see. Tell me in the chat what you guys want to see. First off, I see Say. So Say just got added as a default network where you can add the RPC network for Say on the MetaMask. So that's huge. So that's good. Now Say's getting that MetaMask support. We've been waiting for this for Pulse Chain. I think Pulse Chain needs to be a easy just add the network on MetaMask. We keep asking them to do that, and they're adding every other network. And it's like, come on, guys, let's get it together. You got to work for your bags also too. Like, you guys seem to forget that, like, we're in such a early market still with crypto that we could message MetaMask. And if we had enough people to say, we want this feature, I think they'll listen. Like, I think for a long time, Solana people that were still MetaMask users were like, why have you not added Solana support? Like, where is the Solana support? Like we're bullish MetaMask, we're bullish ETH. You know, we're like people that use MetaMask understand that from the old cycle, like it's still the safest wallet. It's still the safest wallet in terms of security. You know, maybe some of the user interface is a little clunky, could be a little laggy, but at the end of the day, it's like, do you want something that's fast but then it's potential that you could get scammed easier, or do you want to use something that's secure, that's been building and it works? So it's just like Richard Hart says. He's like, do you want to use a bridge that's faster and it doesn't have to go through as many validators, so then you can potentially get scammed and there's more cracks? Or do you want to just wait 5 minutes and let it go through the fucking bridge where it has multiple multi-sig wallets and validators and all that stuff? I don't know. You tell me. Because people are always talking about like they want things, you know, this way, but if you want it that way, that means you're going to have more risk, right? I feel like one of the only people that are actually telling people the truth out here in crypto is Richard Hart, and he's one of the most scrutinized, controversial crypto founders, probably because of that fact. Because while you have all these other founders who, you know, and that don't really tell you the full truth, or not telling you, they're not actually trying to protect you, Richard Hart might actually be trying to do it, but he does it in a very cryptic kind of way. So you have to be at least have half a brain to be able to understand like what he's actually trying to tell you. But no one wants to pay attention. No one wants to listen because it's like. But yeah, all right. I digress. I could rant about that crap for hours because it just shows that like there's so much money behind getting you to look in places where you should potentially look in another place where there's so much more asymmetric upside potential, and it's the same risk. Like when it comes to altcoins, I don't care what the hell you're buying. It's a freaking risk. Everything is a risk. So we have the same risk level. Okay, cool. I invested $5,000 into all these coins. Guess what? They all could go to zero. So at the end of the day, which one is going to have the most asymmetric upside potential and last longer? And not be a quick flash pump and then it's over. So we gotta focus. A lot of money behind trying to get you to buy stuff, but then you know there's then no education behind it. No education. They're just like, buy this. They're just like, buy this because it's going to go here. No data to back it up why it would actually do that. That's why when I talk about Ethereum and I say it could go to 10K or even 20K, I'm not just pulling that number out of my ass. Like, that is a legitimate price target. That is a legitimate price target of network effect and accumulation and strength of a coin. It's had a long time to develop a chart to reveal that. All right, let's get into Say. Let's check out Say because that was the first coin that someone said that they want to see. So Say, like we said, it's been added on to MetaMask as a network. So now you can do Say dApps. You can hold Say inside the MetaMask, and just so you know, it's a layer one. So it uses Say as the gas fee. And that's like kind of the same with, with like say AVAX. If you have AVAX on your Ethereum, your MetaMask wallet with your your ERC20 kind of your address, your public address, it's going to be the same, but you're using AVAX as the gas fee. It's Metis. Metis is, you're using Metis as the gas fee, but then it's different with Arbitrum and Optimism and Linnea. You are still using ETH as for the gas fee. And then Pulse Chain is different, where it's a layer one, but you're using your ERC20, your public OX address, same as what you've been using, but you're now using Pulse for the gas fee. So just so you guys know, if you didn't know that, that's just a breakdown, and then it can go even further. But just so you know that. for all the new people out there that are watching, because I can't assume that everyone knows these things, and that is what we're going to really, like I said, be focusing on while we're pulling up the charts, while we're giving all the info and all the breakdown for stuff for people that have been in the ecosystem, so they kind of know what I'm talking about. There's going to be people that are coming in the live stream that have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, and then be like, what are you talking about? So we're going to really start to focus on the basics, because you got to remember, like, yeah, retail came in 2021, but they just downloaded the Robinhood app and they just went on like exchanges and stuff. They didn't do self-custody. So self-custody was not on retail's radar in 2021 and then going after that. And then especially they were just like, they got convinced to download, FTX or any of these exchanges, BlockFi and all that stuff. And that kind of went into there. But then you see what happened with that. We all got rug pulled. And so now it's really important to understand self-custody going into this cycle, because we should learn our lesson, right? So it's all about self-custody and knowing these networks, knowing how to hold your own money on chain, because you can't trust the exchanges. The exchanges have lost my trust completely. I don't trust any exchanges. I'm sorry. I don't. You know what I trust? Me. You know what I trust? My ability to hold my own crypto. That's what I trust. And that is what people, and all of these crypto people, they don't talk about it enough. It's only a few, very few, where they're like, it's about self-custody. You have to self-custody your own crypto. So, yeah, we got to learn that. We got to really focus on that. All right, getting distracted. All right, Say. So, off the top of my head, if I can remember what the bullish news was with Say, is that Say is bidding into stablecoin minting. So the stablecoins. Do I have DeFi Llama up? Because we can go to DeFi Llama, look at the chains, and Say is up there with Sui for getting close to, I think, it's number 14 in chains on DeFi Llama according to total value locked. So total DeFi, TVL. Let's see, the very top. Yeah, Say's in the 14th spot. Then we have Stables, 278 million. So the stable coins are going to be the big, and they already are, a big narrative going into the rest of this year, and then I think big next year, because it's about the yield, the protocols, the institutions that are going to, and think about it, it's not just institutions, it's like states. So like, for instance, Wyoming, I think, is the one, and the Wyoming, if you know, the Cynthia Lummis is the senator for Wyoming, and she is super bullish Bitcoin. She's super bullish crypto. She's super bullish, like, making sure that, like, banks and states and all these different regulated entities will be able to have exposure into crypto. And I mean, I think she wants to pump our bags. I don't know about you guys, but she definitely wants American dominance and, like, good business happening with crypto on the legislation side, and also for states to be able to work on chain. So I think I'm pretty sure it's Wyoming. Let me check myself here. Let me make sure that what I'm saying is legit. It's Wyoming and Say stablecoin. There we go. Yes. Okay. So, and it was, so it was like Aptos too. Okay. So this was June 20th. Wyoming Stablecoin Commission names Aptos highest ranking blockchain, and there was the commission evaluated more than 10 blockchains, including Ethereum, Avalanche, Sui, Stellar, and Polygon. And Okay, here it goes. The Wyoming Stablecoin Commission has shortlisted Aptos and Say for its stablecoin pilot program. So this is cool. So has placed Aptos as the highest scoring blockchain candidate for the Wyoming stablecoin project. The first fiat-backed stablecoin issued by U.S. state, tying for first place with Soylana. And so Aptos, Say, now Say, Wyoming is selecting Say for its official stablecoin pilot. So Say, with a score of 30, ranked above Base, Sui, AVAX, Ethereum, Algorand, and Ripple, using a formal scoring guide that compared things like performance. So if you remember, XRP has RLUSD, which is their stablecoin. AVAX has native USDC and USDT, but there's no, I don't know if there's an AVAX. There's no AVAX stablecoin. Ethereum obviously has all the different stablecoins. Like for instance, right now, I want to mention USDE. So this Athena USDE, this thing is in competition with USDC right now and USDT in terms of a stable coin. And look, here's all the different blockchains that you can actually hold USDE on. Is a big one being Ethereum. You can hold USDE on Binance Smart Chain. You can hold it on Optimism, Arbitrum, Kava, Metis, Mantle, Linnea, Manta. If you guys remember, Manta was kind of, in 2023 was getting some traction. Base Chain. And let's see if it's on Say as well. Nope, not Say yet. So yeah. But yeah, so this is, there's a lot of action for stable coins. And so yeah, so that's why Say is probably pretty bullish. If it got picked for Wyoming, maybe other states will pick it as well. So then Say could get that network effect and it can start getting really bullish. But yeah, okay, so now let's actually look at the chart. So the chart for Say looks really good because, like I've said, in the weekly time frame is the best time frame to look at these coins, these altcoins, because then you can see how they looked in, say, 2023, look at the past 3-4 years, look at the past 5 years, look at what it did in 2021. Obviously, this coin was not in 2021. It came out in 2023, and so did Sui. So you got to remember, blockchains like Sui, Say, some of these layer twos, like Arbitrum, and they all came out around 2023. Like some of these are fairly new, so that's why you want to kind of see their price action from these different areas. And we're all kind of just doing that with a lot of these altcoins that are also from 2021 cycle. Is like, are they going to be able to get back up even to where we had the Trump pump, and then also get back to any of the previous all-time high levels that we saw in certain market euphoric points, where we had different euphoric points in 2023. We had the memes come back again. We had a lot of, what I said, these, strong Ethereum meme coins, they started to mint and it started to get that traction. So, we had different euphoric points of the market, and then also really bad points of the market, and, points where we kind of went into little mini bear markets. Now you can see on the weekly with a lot of these altcoins are getting, Wyckoff accumulation. Now, what is the Wyckoff accumulation? Well, it's a method for big money to accumulate assets. And the way that they do it is they will run it up to a particular point, and then it creates a through line of resistance and support. And whenever it flips from support to resistance, it goes down into a previous level of where we had support, and it bounces off of that previous level support, and then does this thing. It does this W. So it comes from here, goes down, tests back up, creates this W pattern. Then we have another bottom here, so it creates a double bottom, And it just depends. Sometimes it's exactly in the same spot from the previous bottom, or it'll be a higher low. Sometimes it can even be a lower low and still pump, but we've seen it that it's been doing this where it creates a higher low, then goes right back up to the point of resistance. It trades sideways a little bit, and then at a point, it bounces to the previous level high. And that's how they accumulate these things. And a lot of it is determined and subject to leverage trades being liquidated, also redistribution of the chart, reaccumulation, because during these times is when, if smart money was accumulating this, then they sold off a little bit. They saw the pressure. They saw maybe the ratios for BTC where a lot of it was just running into BTC. And then this is where, and then we had geopolitical stuff happening as well that influenced a lot of this price action on the altcoins. But this happening right here is where it signals for me that institutions and big money is just reaccumulating in these spots for the next leg up. And so our job is to figure out, okay, well, which one are the institutions really going for the long play, not for like the short play for the year and then that's it. Like, I want to get into things that I'm confident are going to be multi-cycle, multi-year, multi-used chains that are going to be picked up by, these states, the treasury company, whatever it is. It's like, I don't care what it is. It's like, is liquidity flowing into it, and can we hold these things multi-cycle? Doesn't mean we hold it forever and we don't ever sell, because we do have to pay ourselves. We have to take profits. As we're DCAing in, there's going to be moments where you can DCA out. But, you don't time the market. You're not trying to time the market. You're just trying to ebb and flow with it. Like you are being flexible, and you're not trying to act like you're a genius. You know exactly where it's going to top out. You know exactly where it's going to, go down, or you just ebb and flow with it. Have your strategy and plan, and just know, like, for instance, with something like, say, you still have, points and time to accumulate for it to even get back to its previous all-time high from these lows of the Trump pump. So even from here right now, if you wanted to accumulate, say, you are getting a 2.5x back to its Trump pump high. If you accumulate and want it to, and you think it has a potential to get into its all-time high, go back to its full all-time high from 2023, then that's 273%. So, and if you're DCAing and you're accumulating, you got a good accumulation strategy. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad for a new blockchain, from 2023. It's getting some accumulation. It does have some bullish, news and narrative behind it. So, and just this is what you can do, not just for Say, but you can do it for Solana. You can say, okay, what is the potential upside for Solana? And you can go and just do your research and say, okay, well, if Solana, if I can compare it to how ETH and BTC ratios have been acting, and how that's been, technically it's been helping pump the chart of the USD pair and the USDT pair of Ethereum, then if we can see potentially where this thing could bottom out and then start to actually recover back to its BTC ratio in 2021, or when it pumped recently to its all-time high for March in 2024, where we had getting close to that $300 Solana, getting over $250 Solana, this is maybe why Solana hasn't been able to really crack and is getting resistance on that $200 per Solana. Because, we're thinking, what the heck? Why isn't this thing pumping? Well, it's because of the Sol BTC ratio right now kind of sucks. The Sol BTC ratio it's not looking as bullish as the other ratios of BTC. You look at the ETH BTC ratio, it's freaking pumping. It's freaking pumping. You look at the Sol BTC ratio, it ain't pumping. It ain't really pumping. You look at the XRP BTC ratio. I mean, we had, let's see, on the weekly. Yeah, I mean, this one looks better than the Sol BTC ratio. The XRP BTC ratio gave a nice pump. But yeah, ADA BTC ratio actually doesn't look very good either. Now, the Link BTC ratio is starting to pump. That's why I feel like maybe Link is really, and the treasuries announced for Chainlink. That's why Chainlink recently started to pump. Got some market attention. And so now, so out of these altcoins right now, being the conversation and what, like, basically, you know, the title of this live stream, the Mindshare for XRP, Sol, and ETH. Well, I think the name of the game here is to look at the ratios of ETH and BTC. And obviously, the winner out of all of these is Ethereum. So if the market is being dominated by primarily Bitcoin and the three main altcoins, and you have to make a choice of what ecosystem is going to get the most, like, liquidity out of Bitcoin, it's the Ethereum ecosystem. Okay, so that's just going to be the first to pump off of money going out of the ratio of BTC into ETH. So then ETH ecosystem tokens, like the protocols like Aave and Lido DAO, you know, just Compound, any of these legacy applications that you can use on Ethereum to do staking and liquid staking and all that stuff, like, these things are just, I think they're naturally just going to pump, because I've seen what they've done with no ETH all-time high and just ETH going up 20% or 25%. They'd go parabolic. And the meme coins go insane too. So then once that's over, it'll get exhausted like it usually does. And then what's the next best ETH, or what's the next best BTC ratio that actually looks like it could flip, and that it could start then pumping? Could it be Sol? Could it be Sol? Will it be XRP? Will money, which one is it going to be first? Because they're going to pick it. So, I mean, it could be anyone's game. I mean, it could be that it flows from ETH to XRP. In terms of market cap, XRP is the third largest market cap coin. So what's happening is we had the flow from Bitcoin go to ETH, and now ETH is going to really get some traction. We're in ETH season right now. We're going to see the ETH ecosystem tokens as well pump. And then which one is it going to go to? Is it going to go to Solana? Is it going to go to XRP? It's like, I mean, we really don't know. We don't know. I kind of have a bet that, you know, in terms of the retail usability of Solana, I think Solana will end up getting a better BTC ratio chart to then eventually pump Solana to $500, $600, you know, base case. And then your Solana coins, your like coins like Orca and Radium and Jupiter and you know, just any of the bullish, you know, Solana ecosystems native on Solana will start to pump. You'll start to see those coins as well get a lot of attention. And so I'm ready. I'm getting prepared for this because, you know, we have exposure into ETH ecosystem. You know, we feel pretty good about it. We definitely could do better and could get more. I mean, I think you guys probably feel like that too, where you're like, I could always get more. But I think what would be smart is like, okay, like if we know that rotation is going to happen and it's not going to happen overnight, and it's going to be like it'll be more spread out. It's going to be, I think, a little more spread out. It's not going to be like an immediate switch. I think we would be smart to start accumulating, maybe it's these native tokens, whether it be on Solana or whether it be on, possibly XRP. So it just depends, it just depends. Like, which one do you think would be the smartest coins in the ecosystem to be buying? Personally, I think it's easier to get into the Solana ecosystem as a retail investor. It's not as easy to go and start figuring out where the XRP ledger coins and which ones are going to be pumping and to get into the XRP ecosystem. It's not as user friendly, and it's not as like I just don't think it's as accessible. There's a reason Solana has as many users as it does. And even though it's been battle tested and it's gone down, it's had its issues, it's had its, the controversy with the pump fund and the launch pads and all the too many tokens. But even through all of that, it still gets more users and it gets more people using the dApps, and the Solana dApps are the most used dApps in crypto. That's just a fact. Like, it is a fact. Solana has the most users. Yes, it has the most tokens, but most of those tokens are just garbage, like snipe tokens anyway. Really, if you want to be honest with yourself in Solana, there's only a very few tokens that people are actually paying attention to. And it's like by the liquidity. And if you go into the Sol ecosystem, you go by market cap here. And in terms of like the coins that are on Solana, Bonk, Pingu, the Trump token, Jupiter, Pump Fund, and then the dexes, Radium, I think Jito. So the Jito, that's and then Pith. So Jito, Pith. And honestly, it's like that's where a lot of the liquidity is right now. That's where a lot of the liquidity is right now. When you start to think, okay, you got all these, you got these, and then comparing it to, say, like, okay, I'm just gonna like, and this is why I think these particular chains against XRP will perform better and there's more opportunity. That doesn't mean there's no opportunity in XRP, because, like, yes, you can go on the XRP ledger. Like here, look, XRPL, you can go on the XRPL ledger, but I'm just going to show you, it's just like there's two ways you could look at this. Okay. There's two ways you could look at this. You could say, okay, there's no money flowing into the XRP ledger ecosystem in coins like they are ETH, Sol, and quite frankly, almost every other chain at this point. Base, all this stuff. So you could say, okay, I would just want to go where the money is flowing. Or you could say, I'm massively early in the XRPL ledger ecosystem coins, and I could just get a little exposure early because no one's here yet. So that is actually a great way to look at this. So you could either say, okay, I could take a risk getting into the XRP ecosystem, hold some XRP, but then potentially with the native tokens that are on here that people aren't really paying attention to, you could figure out where that money is flowing. And so two ways you could look at it which could keep you neutral. So it's not like you're like, oh, screw XRP, blah, 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 because I like to play the neutral route where I could say, okay, I get why you could go in here and say, okay, but see, for me, that's not XRP. I don't want to do that. I've chosen my ecosystem that I think is undervalued and where I think a lot of marketing and ethos is coming in, and it's Pulse Chain. So in terms of liquidity, there's a lot more liquidity flowing in here than XRP, but it's still massively undervalued, but I can see that it's starting to get a different type of network effect. So for me, I'm going to probably go more the Pulse Chain route. But you could use that same mentality for the XRP ledger, the Sonic ecosystem, which is rebranded from Phantom. You could do the same thing with the Crow ecosystem, Kronos. You could say, okay, no one's really looking here. Like, what liquidity's happening here? Where's the volume? But yeah. I don't know. There was a headband. You said back in the day, every normie was talking about Pulse Chain. I don't know. I don't think not. It was a specific group of people that were, I think more or less there was more hate on Pulse Chain than people being excited about it. They were just like dogging on it like, oh my gosh, Pulse Chain. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, you're going to bridge to Pulse Chain. And like people actually like made fun of you for being in or like even talking about Pulse Chain. They're like, oh really? You're gonna get into that? And then they would say, oh Hex. Like there was like such a split, vibe or view on Hex. People say, oh, Hex is a scam, and I don't trust Richard Hart. You shouldn't trust anyone. No one should be your savior. The person that you need to trust the most is yourself. Just as a healthy reminder. Because once you start idolizing certain people, that's not good. You don't want to do that. Person you need to idolize the most is you. You need to be your biggest fan, and you need to be your biggest critic also. And if you can do that simultaneously by being your biggest fan and your biggest champion and cheerleader is you in your head, and then also be the person that can see the flaws and see the mistakes and see the things that you can get better at, and then you make the choice. No one's here to save you and to make you do something, and no one's making you click the buy button, and no one's making you click the sell button. It's all you. You don't forever forget that, because a lot of people will come on this timeline and blame this or blame that or blah, it's their fault. It's this person's fault. It's like, no, it's your fault. Ultimate lesson of life. It's no one else's fault but yours. Stop blaming other people. So you're never going to make it if you're going to keep blaming other people for your problems. And you know that to be true. And if you don't know this to be true, well, now you know. And that's how it is. And because if the only person that's going to come and save you is yourself and the Lord Jesus Christ. And that's it. Only two people that can save you is you and the Lord Jesus Christ. Just as a friendly reminder, my friends, just as a friendly reminder, oh my God, where have you been, Scuba Gerbil? Where have you been? Where have you been? But yeah, he said, Richard Hart is a wild character. Hex Pulse has a ton of upside potential. If we get a real alt season, I could see it gaining traction and flying. And yeah, there's some kind of like cryptic advertising campaign that he's starting. Like, this was an old post about July 27th. He said, so crypto, what are you going to do when the mass marketing starts ripping faces off? He said, people are going to hear about Pulse Chain, PulseX, and Hex and Pump.tires directly before they hear about anything else. So he's talking about probably just everyday retail people that are not on chain yet, but they haven't been marketed properly, Pump Fund or any of the launch pads or Binance Smart Chain or all these things that are happening where all these companies are competing to get, user mindshare and active users and one narrative going to the next. Like the retail investor, like they don't know this is all happening. They don't know what the hell we're talking about. They don't know what the hell a launch pad is. They don't know this stuff. So we can't expect them to just figure it out and find out. And that's why Richard Hart is saying you guys are idiots when it comes to marketing and trying to get people to get on chain on crypto, and you can't even get to you can't even do it even the old school way, just like basic marketing mindshare tactic of getting it in front of people. Coinbase, with all the money that they have, they just make these stupid cryptic ads and put them on TV and on during the football season and Super Bowl, and they just pay millions of dollars for one stupid ad that might have gotten the attention of 5 people, and then everyone else was like, what the fuck is this? They're like, what the hell is this? I don't know what this means. There's just a bunch of digital numbers and it's someone walking down the street, and then it's like no one knows what the fuck you're talking about. No one even knows. About half the people don't even know what Coinbase is, and they're like, get on chain. They're like, get on what chain? I don't even know what a Finch chain. No one knows what the hell we're talking about, and we're going to change that. These companies are so terrible at even explaining how to get on chain in the wallet. Right? It's so annoying. And they expect people to get on chain, and they're not even just going to the basics. Not even going to the basics. So I think what Richard Hart is doing here is he's going back to the basics. He's like, look, like get ready for the old school like marketing. And here's the signal. What are you going to do if you end up seeing a white van with Pulse Chain on the side of it delivering USB hard drives of Pulse Chain tokens and a whole PDF file to explain how to do it? It's crazy. And Headband, you're right. You're totally right. Let me get the chat back up. I don't know why the chat wasn't up. There we go. New Max, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. If you really are real, and you're not trying to scam me right now, New Max, because every Twitch person I ever comes on Twitch is a damn scammer and is trying to get me to click on some scammy link. I don't believe you unless you can give me full immutable proof. But yeah, people need Telegram wallets, and they buy and sell for you that are easy to program and operate. Yeah. So a couple live streams ago last week, I took, because I don't know why they're not here again. Terrible marketing and promotion. So many people use the Telegram app, and now they don't even know, especially the United States people, they don't even know that you can now use the app and then stake USDE for 20% yield. You now, in your Telegram, have a crypto wallet, custodian wallet with your keys where you can hold native USDT and USDC and TON and the TON ecosystem coins and all this stuff inside the Telegram. But guess what? No one freaking knows. No one knows. No one knows. But yeah, what are you guys going to do when the marketing does rip your face off and people like Richard Hart and, people like the Ticker Bitcoin community wearing that merch all over? Like, what are you going to do? This is why I like my coins that I have found and I've been doing my research on and I've locked in and I've made my choice. For instance, Headband sends me coins all the time. And he's like, look, bro. And I'm like, and what do I tell you, Headband? What do I tell you every time you send me a token? I say the ticker's Bitcoin. It means I made up my damn mind. I'm tired of getting distracted. I'm tired of it. I've known about this. I've had my freaking my thesis for the past 2.5 years. It hasn't changed. The only thing that has changed is the number of tokens that are trying to get me to get off my plan. Absolutely not. But yeah, no, I always laugh because Headband will send me. He's like, bro, look at this token. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, like I could put $50 in it, but I could also just continue to put $50 in the tokens that I have. And then at the end of the day, it's like, I don't care if I'm wrong. At least I freaking believed in something. At least I believed in something and I didn't have 17 million different flash memes to freaking worry about. I want to like that. I don't like that is just how I want to operate. And it's not crazy to have that type of thesis. It's like Sami. Your friend Sami, I mean, he's gone through so much FUD for being, bullish pulse chain, bullish PDI, all the different narratives, and he's the same way. He's like at this point, I don't care if I'm wrong. What's the downside to being wrong? Okay, cool. Everyone has that same downside. But are you willing to stick around to potentially be right? There's way more reward than the risk at that point when you just accept that fact. Like at this point, I don't care. I will tell you if I'm wrong. I will die on that sword of my thesis about Ethereum memes and the Ethereum ecosystem and how all of this will connect into the shit that I've been paying attention to in the ecosystems, and I will be in the right place at the right time. But that is my delusion. Your delusion could be that everyone's will eventually end up on XRP and the banks will pony up on XRP and then it goes to $1,000. Cool. If you're right, then you just beat the FUD. You beat the FUD. You beat the system because then you took the risk and the asymmetric upside potential of your delusion. But the difference is that we can see where the money flows on chains. So it's not about it's just like, we're all trying to figure out where the money's flowing. And we all have the potential to be absolutely wrong. Completely. No one knows. And if anyone is telling you that they know exactly where the money's flowing, they are lying because we're all taking the risk. We don't really know, but we're taking the bets. Jesus, guys. This is how I feel. More people should watch this live stream, honestly. Like, I feel like I have the highest value content in crypto, and you guys are here to see it, but I'm glad. Like I said, if you can't be bullish on yourself, people get mad when you start getting bullish on yourself and you start like encouraging yourself. They're like, you're conceited. You're tooting your own horn. Well, guess what? Toot, toot. Toot, toot, my friends. Because while the world is always trying to bring you down and people are trying to make you feel stupid, make you feel like you're in the wrong place, make you feel like you shouldn't be doing what you're doing, you give them Kanye level confidence. You tell them I'm not going anywhere. All right. When should we sell our altcoins? January 2026? I cannot tell you when to sell. Because for all I know, you could have been holding a coin right now that is already up thousands of %. And I could say, well, then shit, you should probably sell right now. I don't know, sell some. You could also have bought everything that I just showed you on the altcoin list here, like ADA, Cardano, all the different, coins like Litecoin. And then you could have just bought them all right now. And then I would probably say, well, no, don't sell. That's only just like, but no, I can't tell you when to sell. I can't tell you when to sell. You have to figure that out because it all depends on what coins you're holding. I don't know. I have this area. I have this area where I'm gonna probably like scoop some off the top. I think a DCA out strategy is also good too. So if you've been DCAing like Litecoin all through this purple box, if you've just been buying Litecoin at $98, $65, you've just been DCAing all through this range, then when it starts to get up in the second range, then maybe you start DCAing out a little bit because you've really got a great average. Like you're up maybe you're up 2x and you just, I don't know, you want to pay yourself a little bit. So you could do this with every coin. Like it doesn't matter what it is. Like what's your average cost? Like how much are you up? Like are you up 5x? You could have all your different levels of where you would potentially want to start selling. And I guess what I've learned from other people that have said they sold all their bags at a certain point where they thought it was the market top, and then the market rallied up another leg and they bought back in FOMOing. And it kind of screwed them up a little bit. So what you can do to combat that is say, don't sell your whole bag. Like when you think the market's at the top, just sell a little bit. Sell a little bit. Hedge against the fact that you don't know, and hedge against the fact that you have made money. So you could take a little bit off the table. Maybe take out your initial investment. Take out your initial investment and a little bit more. So people always say, take out your initial investment, but then then what if it goes back down to your original price entry? Then you're literally just getting your money back. Cool. No, say you're up 3x, take out the initial and another half of what your initial was. So then you're still paying yourself. So then no matter what, you'll make money even if it went to zero. So that could be your strategy for going into the end of the year. Say Bitcoin is past 200K. You start seeing these things pumping and your whole portfolio has just done a 2-3x. I mean, I would take a little bit, maybe put it into some stables. Then you're like, okay, I got some stables. If the market dips and we start to see maybe some more confidence come in or whatever, then you can buy back. You can have some stables on the side just to have for confidence, to make to give your portfolio a little bit of strength. And not to mention, because there's so many different options for stable coins now to be able to earn some yield or generate some interest, some APY, you could be putting that to work still. So it's like, you got your gains and then now you're putting it to work on chain. And if we go into a bear market, you're like, whew, then now you're good. You have some coins that you feel good about that could be multi-cycle and they could go into the next leg. And then you have some stables. And there's so many ways you can do this. Every chain has their farm option of where you can earn some stuff during the downturns. And yeah, I mean, there's some things that you can do, my friends. But I would say it's not about like, oh, when should I sell, in a specific time. It's just like, it all depends on where you're at in your portfolio. It could be completely different and could look different in the beginning of the year in 2026 than it does at the end of the year. Because if you're going to pick a specific time and say, I'm only going to sell when it hits here, I don't think that's ever worked for anyone. It's usually like, okay, if I'm up 5x and I haven't hit that point yet, then dang, I would say, yeah, probably pay yourself a little bit, because if you're going to wait until a specific time, you don't know, like, if that's going to be where, quote, the top is. Like, I have my predictions, but I'm going to probably sell a little bit before I get to that exact time, because I hope so that my portfolio will be up enough to where I can say, all right, I'm going to scoop some profits off. Practice doing that. Doesn't mean I'm selling the whole thing. Doesn't mean I'm jeeting the whole damn, bag. But it could be a good, neutral, bullish way to operate your portfolio. So you're not like selling the whole thing, trying to buy back in, doing this and doing all that. It's just like, I don't know if that helps. Put a 1 in the chat if that helps you at all, or if that makes sense. If you're even paying attention, if you're listening. I don't even know if you're paying attention at this point. I hope you guys are. I hope you are. Let's see how many people we have watching. We have 100 and something, 108 on X. It would be really cool to actually get that same amount on YouTube. For some reason, YouTube is not letting everyone know that I'm going live. They're only letting 6 people know that I'm live. Like, what? Like, where's customer service for YouTube? Because it's not your fault. Like, it's not your fault. I never blame the community that, it's your fault there's not people watching. No, it's YouTube's fault. I have almost 4,000 subscribers, and there's no way that they let everyone know that I went live. There's no way. Because then if that was the case, there'd be at least 50 people minimum in here. Or is everyone just working and no one cares about crypto right now, and this is literally just who's left? And that might be actually the truth, is that the fact that the matter is, like, right now no one gives a rip. People are broke. They don't even know where they're going to get their next meal. They're trying to buy stuff on credit. And who's watching crypto live streams right now besides the people that are just like in the trench, like Mike Joey or Eric or Scuba Gerbil, Tony Trump, Lasers, AI Griff, Eric Espacino, Chad. You guys are. I see you all the time. You've been here. Where's the new people? They ain't here, but they're coming. They have no choice. The FOMO will hit them so hard that they're gonna be like dropping their phone trying to figure out who to go to. This is why we continue to do what we do. Okay. Now, let's get to work, my friends. Let's show you the trades. Let's go. All right. So, this is what you guys really like to see. You like to see the trades. You like to see if we're making money or not, if we're losing money, right? Well, I'd say that we are making money. We're making good trades. We are practicing our strategy. We're being very aggressive. We're not swinging for the fences with these trades, but we're just moving and taking profits. We are rotating profits into the things that we want to buy. For instance, we told ourselves we're going to be really simple. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I just keep taking profits on trades and buying more tickets to the show, the Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu show. And then also AVAX. I bought some AVAX. I bought some ticker Bitcoin. And what else did I buy? I think that was it. I kept it real simple. I was like, I don't have enough AVAX. I sold a lot of my AVAX earlier this year. And now like that AVAX is still under $25. I'm like, man, it's a freaking steal. I'm like, AVAX, in my opinion, is probably one of the more undervalued altcoins along with Polygon and Litecoin. These three altcoins, I think, are going to do really well. Easy buys, easy holds, a lot of narratives that are connected with it. And those are, that's just like easy range coins that did really well in all the different pumps. And I just want to make it simple, I just want to make it super simple. So I've been taking and running my profits. Any of the profits that I make on these trades, I'm DCAing into my bags. And self-custodian. That is like, guys, if I could teach you anything at all, this is the way. You take your trades. If you're up on your trades 150%, 200%, you need to immediately take 25, 30% off that trade. Do it. Don't take a screenshot. Don't send it to your friend. Don't start celebrating because these markets are treacherous. They liquidate people on the upside and the downside, shorts, longs, okay? So if you're up, don't celebrate. Take the freaking profits. Don't be a fool. You take the profits and you use those to build up your bag. That is the way. It's magic internet money you're making on these trades. And how do you can keep it? You put it into something that you believe in and that you're going to hold and that you're less likely to sell or try and retrade or go back into the market. And before you know it, you will have thousands and thousands of dollars of on-chain assets. Okay? So, rule number 1, if you're up on your trades, take the profits. And then, if you're up on your trades, you need to set a stop loss. You need to set a break-even stop loss. Okay? The break-even stop loss is very, very, very important. Why? So you don't lose money. These markets will move really fast, and they will get you. It'll get you. Okay? So one way that you can really protect yourself, and I love this, is my favorite strategy in trading, and it does work. It's called the trailing stop loss, okay? So the trailing stop loss is where, say you're in a trade. Look at this trade right now, ENA, Athena. We just talked about it today. A lot of bullish things on the Athena stablecoin and the Athena blockchain. A lot of money's flowing into it. A lot of stuff with the World Liberty Financial, I think, is in tune with this. So, I'm up 346% on this trade. But whenever I got up to a certain point, I scooped off the profits. Because for all I know, this thing could go right back down into entry, which it kind of almost did. And so what we did is we took those profits up at the top, pretty close up at the top, where we started to see a little bit of downturn. See that bearish divergence right there? So what that does is it gives you that opportunity to take those profits, let the market cool off. Now you can take those profits, go back into the trade if you want to, but then also use some of that profit that you just made and DCA into the asset itself. Like say, okay, now I got $50 that I didn't have before to now buy ENA. Or to buy some Dogecoin. Or to buy some Bitcoin, whatever it may be, whatever's in your bag that you're trying to do. And then you set the stop loss. You see this TP and this sell, the TP and stop loss, take profit, stop loss. That's what that is. On your trade, every platform that you're using will have this. You click on this and you are going to, and this, and a lot of people don't explain this. No one explains stuff like this. Everyone just expects everyone to know what we're talking about, and you have to explain things like a teacher. Okay, there is a percentage of return, the return on investment, which is the ROE, and then you have the P&L, the profit and loss. Okay? You're going to set this at 0. That means it's break even. What you can now do, if you're trading a short, tight range, you can bring the stop loss up into take profit. So no matter what, you are locking in gains on both sides. It's not like it's going to go back into entry and then you just know. You, no matter what, are making sure that you are locking in those gains across the board. And it's called trailing stop loss. It's a trailing stop loss. You go here. I'm gonna do it here. 0 break even. And then you can trail it up like this. I'm going to do the same thing on this trade. You got the break-even stop loss. I got it right here. I'm going to trail it up into this area right here. So no matter what, I'm making sure my trades, if it goes down into those levels, I will lock in those profits still. I'll be able to go back in if I want to from that support. You know, you can, if you have liquidity inside your account sitting ready to be able to strike if it does go to that level, you can even at the same time have a limit order set to go right in and snipe that entry again, because you can see it's kind of trading in a bit of a range. Oh, there's so many things that you can do, guys, to you know, get your edge, figure out your strategy here. Yeah. And this works. This works. And if you can get a rhythm and a flow of this in your trades, that no matter, every trade that you take is like that. Every trade that you take is like that. You got a stop loss set at the beginning, so if it goes against you, you're making sure you're only like losing 2, 3-4% of the trade, 5% at most, and then you get out, figure out, reassess. But if you're up 100% and you're successful, or not even just 100%, if you're up 10% on your trade, you immediately set that stop loss to break even, and that's the point of the trail. So say you just put in this trade and it went down 2% and you're at a stop loss at 5% and it just went up 10%. You immediately take this stop loss, like if it was here, and now you're up, you bring that stop loss up into break even or into take profit. Simple as that. Simple as that. That is the easiest trading strategy to protect capital. And when you use it, it 100% works. It works very, very well. It worked so well that I was actually able to pass 2 different prop firm accounts by using this strategy aggressively. And as an example of how quickly you can fail by not using the strategy is I've blew up 2 of those accounts that I got passed on by not using the strategy. The strategy helped me pass the evaluation, and then in having the account, I faltered and didn't use the strategy as aggressively, and I blew the account. So it's amazing how quickly, if you fall off your strategy when you know it's working, that you get wrecked. And it's just a direct correlation of how discipline in your strategy that works for you, which is could be your edge, that is how you can operate in your trades. You can use this rule book in any trade. But it's not really about that, though. It's like, you know, I mean, a lot of the times, like, because I really do try and shoot for a specific target. Like, I have some areas where I'm like, okay, yeah, this looks like it's. But you could just be super aggressive. It all depends on what you're aggressive, the level of aggression, you know, that you're wanting to put on these trades. Because when I mean by being very aggressive, you got super tight stop losses set. You have very specific areas of take profit. Like, you're just being a ninja, you know? It's not about you're not committed. It's just you're committed to not losing any money. It's not about getting the big wins. It's about consistently, even if it's $50 a day, that means that means you didn't lose. If you didn't take a trade, that means you won. There's this whole misconception of how trading is supposed to be, that you're supposed to be making $1,000 in a day. No! It's the $50, the $25, the not taking the trade, getting stopped out at break even and then trying again and not losing any money. That's the game. That's what you have to understand. And the whole trench, get rich quick, Soylana, vape cabal won't tell you that. It's the consistent small gains over time is where you're going to win. It's not the get rich quick, take the screenshot, the swing for the fences. I used to think that too, and it's not like that. It's not like that. That's a false reality. And I'm tired of people getting tricked by false realities. So I'm going to wake the hell up. I don't want you to be stuck in some get rich quick mentality when it ain't like that. It's discipline. It's compounding gains over time and a consistent winning strategy. That's it. There's nothing else. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. There should be thousands of people watching my live stream right now, me spitting this freaking info right now. And there will be. Damn it. There will be. This time of YouTube shadow banning me and not telling people that I'm live, those days are at an end, my friends. Those days are at an end. Shit's coming to an end. The takeover is real. Oh, we have fun. We have fun doing this live stream. All these other KOLs and grifters, they can grift all the hell they want. No one's going to be watching their shit at the end of this run because a lot of them told them to sell their ETH. ETH is going to go to 20K, and they're going to go to these people and be like, "Why did you convince me to blah, blah, blah. And guess what? When they come back to try and talk to these people, guess what? They're going to know where to be found. They're not going to be on the timeline anymore. They're not going to be here because they're going to be too embarrassed. But guess what? Like I said, I don't give a shit if I'm wrong. If Pulse Chain goes to 0 and Ticker Bitcoin goes to 0, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to get on this live stream and I'm going to tell you, hey guys, we took the bet. We were wrong. Let's continue to work. I ain't going to thread guy you. I'm not going to LA vape cabal you. And honestly, you guys should be, you know, more appreciative of that. While all these other people don't give a rip and just want to sell you the next runner, I'm breaking down a thesis and a mindset that has nothing to do with telling you to buy a specific coin. It's about changing your perception of how the market is even operating in general. And that will lead you down your own rabbit hole and instinctual process in this market. It's not about the coin at this point. It's your perception. It's your mindset. It's your ability to not have a small rat brain and to start to think. That is what I'm trying to do. It's not about me. I'm not convincing you to buy freaking Chill House or Uranus. You can go take your Uranus somewhere else. I'm just trying to make you believe in something. And if that can be yourself, you're unstoppable. If I can get you to believe in yourself, like I am believing in myself, where I have had a hard time believing in myself. If I can do that, help you believe in yourself, then that's all I ask for. That's I would be so grateful that I've been able to do that. All right. We're going to use the last 10 minutes of this live stream for a Q&A. You can ask me anything. If you're watching on X right now, make sure you let yourselves be known. This could be 111 real people or it could be 111 bots. I have no idea. Q&A. Ask me anything. If you guys don't have any questions or answers or, yeah, I know, rat brain. Well, I just think like people come in here and then like all of these trenchers and these like young kids and the the quote meme trenchers and stuff like that. It's just, I feel like it's just this Zoomer TikTok mentality of like, yeah, bro, you didn't get 20 bands last night. And it's just like, that's not the fucking reality, guys. Like, get over yourself. It's not like that. It's just no. Let's be adults here and compound like the old days. That's what I mean by the rat brain. It's just like it's just like anything else. There's gonna be like the grift and the thing that's like the get rich quick, and then there's the people that have their head down, locked in, and they're not paying attention to that. And they're like, yeah, that's cool. You guys can go and gamble and basically be in the strip club, you know, and for 24 hours with your eyes crusted, and have no perception of how the market's even acting or where the real money's flowing. I'm going to be over here like this. And like I said, I don't care if I'm wrong, because I have the ability to come here and tell you guys when I've been wrong, and also tell you where I've been feeling like I'm going to quit, feeling like I've just gotten chewed up and spit out. I've told you where I've made $100 into $10,000 by trading, by actually taking trades and being aggressive and trying to learn that skill, and then also losing it and having to come back to you guys and tell you, like, this is the reality. Woo! Damn, this ENA is looking crazy. This ENA is looking wild. It's funny. We thought this thing was going to break out of a cup and handle, but it got destroyed on the Trump pump. If the Trump pump was really going to continue, that was the potential. But now we're getting that breakout right here. So I think a $2.32 ENA could potentially come down the pipe here. We'll see. We're just going to hit some of that resistance right there. We'll see what happens on the resistance of $1.38. But man, this looking pretty sweet. And then look, we got Zeus. Zeus potentially hit a double bottom here on the week. We'll see if that's the case. If so, then man, could potentially trade back up to $1. Who freaking knows? Tron is coming up to a big weekly resistance where it pumped up in the Trump pump. It's heading right back up to that same area. A lot of attention on Tron right now. And then obviously a lot of attention on Ethereum, getting up to hit that mega pre-bull market resistance where it was hitting up into all-time highs. Guys, look at how close we are to this order block sell. Look at how close we are to this order block sell. It's insane. I mean, once we, and here's the deal with the Fibonacci extension levels. If we break this order block, we're gonna fly to $5,778 really fast. The last time we broke through an order block that was like this when it was with Bitcoin, and I told you guys that we were gonna fly up to 115 very fast when we break the order block. That's exactly what happened. We broke through the order block and Bitcoin could not be stopped. It just started to literally pump to that area, which was the exact level of the 1618 during one of those Fibonacci extensions. I'm kind of feeling like this could be the same case for ETH to break this order block of resistance from the last cycle and just like quickly pump to 5,700. This could potentially happen this week. So I just don't want you guys to feel like you're going to get sidelined. Just know that you were told here first. But also I could be completely wrong and we hit resistance here and we go down into this range again and we go back down to the 618 or something. And that could happen too. A little more on the case that we get that quick pump. We break that resistance right there. We got the ETF inflows coming in hot. They're really flowing into this thing. That was my prediction, was that they were going to start really flowing in the same amount of volume into the ETF for Ethereum than they are with Bitcoin. And that's exactly what's been happening. And so what is that doing? It's pumping the price. There's one condition that signifies us being an altcoin season. And it's very simple. It took me a little bit to understand this, but now I understand that it is very imperative that ETH BTC ratios are at a certain level for it to be altcoin season. So whenever we had the ETH BTC ratio above the 618, which is the 0.04 ratio for ETH BTC, we've been in mini altcoin seasons. So all during this time, where in 2023 and 2024, like this area right here for the ETH BTC ratio, that was altcoin season. When we had real altcoin season, where we had like DeFi Summer and all those different tokens like Matic and Chainlink and, you know, like basically like alts in general were going parabolic. Look at where the ratio was. It was up in this range between the 0.05 and the 0.08. So the 0.05 and the 0.08. Any of these ranges of us getting the BTC ratio up here, we're in altcoin season. Right now, we're in ETH season. ETH season, I think, is going to continue up until here. Once we hit this, and then it kind of consolidates a little bit, wherever it might consolidate here, it might consolidate here, this is going to be altcoin season. And up until that point, it's just ETH season, because this ratio is pumping the ETH chart. And also, if you look at it, the dominance, the ETH dominance chart looks exactly like the BTC ratio chart. This is the ETH dominance chart. And you look at the ETH BTC chart, it looks exactly the same. It has the same fib levels. It's got the same price structure. So what this is signifying is that the ETH BTC ratio is signifying the dominance flip of Bitcoin and ETH. Bitcoin dominance finally topped out at 66 and now is going down into this area, 58%, while still pumping into close to all-time highs. And we have the ETH dominance going up and trending back up to these levels, which signifies we are heading into a ETH season first, and then money rotates and goes into the altcoins. And then this is when we will actually get our altcoin season. So look, all of this, if you remember where ETH was, we had ETH doing its thing, and then what did it do? It took some resistance. We went into the Trump pump, and then our alts were pumping. We had like stuff was going wild. Then we were in altcoin season because of the fact. And guess what? Guess where the BTC ratio and the ETH BTC ratio was in November 2024? Let's see. We'll go to the ETH BTC ratio, or even just the ETH dominance. Go to the ETH dominance. Look where it was. It was right in this area, this sweet spot. Now you go to the BTC ratio. You go to the ETH BTC ratio. Where was it in December? Right in this area where we're about to pop up to and to see that resistance, the 618. Now you go back to the table and you see what happened to get us into altcoin season. Now we're in that same play where we're going to get a nice little pop, and then it's in ETH right now, and then that's how we're going to get into altcoin season. What is benefiting right now going into ETH season? Pingu, ENA, Hype, Crow, Wrapped BTC, ETH, Uni, somehow Bitcoin Cash. I don't see how that's, I guess 30%. XLM, Lumens, Aave, Tron, XRP, Mantle, Link. This is what has performed the best over the past 90 days. HBAR, Bonk, Algo, ETC's even done 4%, but yeah, we've been focusing on the ones that are a little bit more on this. Pretty crazy. So yeah, this is how. So we're about like halfway. And then speaking of halfway, I'll show you one more chart and then we're going to end it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I know sometimes, I don't know, I feel like maybe sometimes my stream could be a little hard to follow because we kind of, you know, we have our own style, but that's just fine. We're basically halfway. We're basically halfway. And I think that we're going to get the peak run and pinch up into this area. According to the trend and according to what's happened in previous bull runs and banana zones, we're still only halfway with Bitcoin, okay? And I think with the total cryptocurrency market cap breaking out of its own chart as well, and it looks like the gold chart, I think next year, Q1 and Q2 of next year is where we're going to see a $320,000 Bitcoin or a $350,000 Bitcoin next year. Because we're only halfway there. Now, we could pump this year to 150, to 160. We could potentially even pump to 200,000 this year and then get some resistance. We could go like this, hit 200, hit some resistance, and then continue to go. I think that's a fair case of a prediction of where I think Bitcoin can go just based off of previous cycle runs. And it just wouldn't make any sense at all if that we don't do at least what we've done before with all of the regulatory clarity and the sentiment, you know. It's completely different. Only the difference is that, like, you know, retail was never in the markets to begin with. That's the thing that we have to, it's a misconception. Retail was never really in the markets. It's always been the big money in the institutions, and that's it. The retail ain't here. We want them to be, but they're not. They're just going to be onboarded forcefully without even realizing it because everything's just going to be on chain. And we've been using Venmo and Cash App or whatever, and PayPal and all this stuff, and then before you know it, it's all going to be stable coined. And they're just going to use crypto without even realizing it. So yeah, retail hasn't been here this whole time, so that's okay. We technically don't need them. We just need the institutions to continue putting their fiat phony money into the markets. They're the ones with the liquidity anyway. Retail's broke. We're trying to have that same liquidity, but how do we do it? We got to invest. So yeah, we're only halfway there, guys. So just chill out. We're only halfway there. Figure out your strategy, figure out your plan of accumulation, and just know that we're still only halfway through the game. We're at the halftime show. We're at the halftime show. We still got a whole another game to go. At least that's my prediction. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all your comments and your observations. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Share this live stream to your friends. Get them to come tomorrow. Get them to come tomorrow. Nope, I don't. Well, I have a Discord, but people just don't go on there really. They just don't go on the Discord. So it's like I've kind of given up on the Discord, to be honest. Like I don't even go on it really anymore. It's just I'm talking about all this. I want people to come in live. This is what I'm trying to build up. I want people to come to the live stream. I want people to come to the live stream. I don't want to funnel people in a bunch of different areas. Like, this is what I'm trying to build up. So I don't have a private group. I don't have a private Telegram. I don't have any of that crap. I just want people to tune in like this is a show. And then you are part of the show by interacting and just showing up. The Discord, it's just been, I don't know. Unless you guys come in there and start talking and chatting, it's just like a ghost town. So, you know. Yeah. So I haven't really been promoting the Discord. Unless you guys can go in there and make some noise. I'll give you the link right now. Go in there and make some noise. Chat amongst yourselves. That's the whole point. It's not about me being in there. You guys got to go in there and just like interact with each other. It's like a hangout and chat. Get a discussion going in there. That's what it's all about. But no one had seemed to be doing that really. So I was like, meh, meh. I'll give you the link right now. Hold on. All right. Invite people. Your invite link will expire in 7 days. Okay. See if that works. Looks like it works. Yeah, make sure that works. And real quick before we leave, we'll show you guys the crypto heat map right now. This is what the heat map's looking like. Got Bitcoin past 24 hours up 1.2%, Ethereum up 1.7%, outpacing Bitcoin right now. We got this Smart up 1.45%. I'm not sure what that is. We got BNB up 1.1%, Solana down 1.5%. You're wondering, why is Solana down? Why? I was told to. This is guys, this is why you don't just do what other people say. You just don't do it. I've told you to be bullish Solana and Ethereum. I'm like, just buy both. Why are you going to swap out all of your Ethereum to Solana because the timeline's telling you to? And now, if you have done that, you're hurting. You are convinced that I need to be all in on Solana. And it's like, why don't you just hold both? Hold both. Why are you making it so hard for yourself? No one's telling you that it's illegal to hold Ethereum and Solana and BNB and Bitcoin. No one's told you that. Like, when has anyone ever told you that you can't do that? So at a point, it's like, okay, if you held both, you're just like, cool, all right, ETH is doing a little better. And my soul back is down. But if you were convinced, let me sell all my ETH, and then you see the dominance now in the ratio of BTC, that was a bad move. That was a bad move. Wasn't a smart one. And what's so annoying is that it's like people like Crypto Lark and all these people that have thousands of people watching their freaking crap and following them. And they were like, yep, I sold all my ETH and I was just such a good decision that I made. I swapped all my ETH and I blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and then people are watching them. And then trusting those people. Oh, is that what it still says? Oh, yeah. I was testing something out. Yeah, okay. Let me show you. Let me show you real quick. Let me show you. So what I was trying to do was I wanted people, because I didn't want bots or people that were just going to come in and jack up my Discord. It brought people in to the welcome and the rules, or did it bring you to verify? Where did it bring you? Okay, so did it bring you here? Yeah, I wanted to where if you sign up with the affiliate links, which were just two of them right here, it was PHEMEX and OURBIT, then you would be verified, and there was a whole verified section that then gets you access to the chat, the whatever. But I don't have that going anymore. Yeah, so you're already auto verified if you got the link. But I was trying to just build up more of the signups and have a way to, because like it's not like a paywall. It's like I wanted it to be somewhat of like you had to do a task to be able to get in. It didn't really work. At least I don't know. I didn't really see that actually like working, because I was trying to get this test this out from someone else. They were like, yeah, that's just like what you get access to the Discord through signing up with the link, and then you're verified. I don't think I have it set up really properly in a way that could funnel people into signing up with the links, but it doesn't really, it's fine. You got to test out all kinds of stuff, because at the end of the day, like all of these people that are streaming are promoting whether affiliate links, exchange links, whatever it may be, and it's just like it doesn't matter the way, whatever way that you can get people to sign up. It's all about metrics and numbers, and see, and if the thing that you're even promoting at all is fun to use, or if people are actually using it, that's all to be discovered over time as you promote stuff. Like for instance, there's no rhyme or reason why people are choosing to sign up with OURBIT than they are with PHEMEX. PHEMEX is a great platform. I mean, it's worked really well for me, and I've used it to trade. I like it. Same with OURBIT, but more people have just signed up with OURBIT than they did with PHEMEX. There's no reason why. I don't see really any particular reason. It's just that's what happened. So you just don't know. And they're both in the links in the description for the video. Nothing crazy. And what's cool is that I only promote these two. And then the decentralized one at Apex, as I was testing that, I really liked it. Dex option. But yeah, these are the two that I've just decided, like, less things for people to try and click on and focus it into these. Because these are the ones I actually use on a regular basis. That and crypto.com is what I've used a lot as well. Just from an on-ramping standpoint, debit cards, and then also trading, being able to do, get into trades quickly. I've really liked those. So, all right, guys, I think that's about it. I think I tried to leave 17 different times, and now we're actually going to leave. All right, we Really appreciate you guys coming in today. I know it's a bit of a long live stream. We got into the thesis. We broke down altcoins. We kind of went all over the place. I really hope you stuck with it and you found some useful tips, tricks, anything that was of use. And I really hope I've helped you guys out in any kind of way. Maybe have gotten you to start thinking about the markets in a different type of, like seeing how your perception is and how you can really just stay focused in the investing crypto game, because there's just a lot going on and it can be very easy to get distracted. And so if anything, if I can get you guys to just focus and lock in, and it's not about me trying to convince you to go look in specific ecosystems, you just need to find your edge. Find your edge. It could be the alts, it could be the NFTs, it could be that you know where to get, stable yield and all this stuff and generate compounding interest. It's great. Lock in and get better and better and better and ignore the noise. All right, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning into this live stream. Thanks for coming to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. And just as a reminder, we stream Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every day in the week, we come here, and we hope you guys come back to a live stream, and we hope you have a good rest of your day. Peace out.